Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Pro Wrestling Junkies is proud to bring to you the podcast about anything and everything in the world of wrestling. I'm Isaac. This is Shane. Down below us, our special guest, we have DDJ.
Dozer.
This is such good shoot. Let's get it on. Sorry, that was my Dozer impression. I've been dying to do that. Just full disclosure, Dozer is not with us today. He is indisposed. He is in Bull Shoals, Arkansas today at a 9/11 Truthers convention, giving a keynote speak on what happened to Building 7. So I think that's being live streamed somewhere on 8kun. So if you want to go watch that, check it out. So the Creaky Tiki studio is closed, and we are in the Leaky Peepee studio tonight. So here we go, boys.
All right.
DDJ, thank you so much for joining us. We asked DDJ to come on because, well, we need somebody to fucking keep Shane and I from killing each other. So we have to have
you asked me?
Yeah, look at you. You're a sweetheart.
Smoking, but I think we already know.
Damn, Mountain Select, fucking some really good shit. Grease Monkey,
Mountain Dew, dude.
Grease Monkey. Yeah, I got some blunts rolled. So yeah, we're gonna tonight. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna do a little bit of a review on the pay-per-view that we just got to witness, the Fast Lane 2021, the Road to WrestleMania, and then after we talk about that. We were gonna hop into, what do we call that segment? Do we have a name for that one?
Rear view.
The pay-per-view rear view. Well, we go back to 1997, and we're gonna review and
the Fatal Final Four-Way.
Can I make a suggestion for your title for this segment? Why don't you call it the Paper Rear View?
Oh,
okay. Yeah,
sure, dude, that's good. I'll forget it. Because I forget all the names of our segments.
Here, I was loading up the Cheek of the Week. I'll just send it. Pay per rear view. All right, thank you, special guest DDJ. I'll just go ahead get into the standard events. As of 11 hours ago, the Iron Sheik was watching the National Basketball Association, in which he said, "Is the Bowl the real or the jabroni?" And then as of one day ago, I haven't seen this one. He said hello, and then tagged U2, the band. If you still haven't found what you're looking for, it's time to look for something else, Bubba. So Iron Sheik's giving U2 a little relationship advice.
I was really honestly hoping that he was going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Me too.
When it comes to honestly, and I know you have weird. So this is something else I can already tell you're fucking wrong about. There is only one band in the whole fucking world, literally one band, that if it comes on in the kitchen that I'm working in, I will walk out. And I tell every chef I work with that this is the way it is, and it's U2. I fucking hate U2.
I'm just saying. War, especially War. The Joshua Tree is also a good dude. War as a record is insane. It goes crazy.
I'd rather listen to Fish,
bro.
Honestly, 100%. But we're getting off topic anyway.
Here,
hey, guys, going off the rails is an exclusive property of the Junkyard.
Well, like I said in the private chat, until you've had a professional wrestler take a shit live on video on your podcast,
sat on the toilet straight up, dude. Maybe didn't wipe. I'm not sure. There's a meme going around of my face. If you know the people who know the people, man, you could probably obtain it.
So good.
But yeah,
the Sheik of the Week, and I think we only have one other quick piece of business to get into before we jump right in to Fastlane, and that is Shane, have you watched They Live?
I have not even considered watching They Live.
Right, that's the end of that segment, and we are going on to Fastlane. So
well, you just actually gave me an idea to watch on the when I'm in the car on Sunday when we're heading up to Milwaukee with the family. I think I might watch some They Live.
it's so good. And it's got one of the like most incredible fight scenes in a movie ever. And if you ever watch South Park, and I've talked about this on the pod before, but if you ever watch South Park, you remember Cripple Fight?
Yes.
The fight from that is a shot for shot remake of a fight from They Live, and that's like the whole joke of that. That's why it just goes on and on and on, because it's literally like taken right from the fucking right from the movie.
My man Giovanni Tuati.
Giovanni.
Yeah, no, I know Jovan is all over They Live. Just loves it. Loves it. Tells me all the time.
It's a great movie. I mean, as you can see behind me, and as you can see if you're listening, I got a couple They Live posters up there because it really is one of my favorite cult classics, and it's pretty prescient today with its message. So worth checking out.
Well, on that note, let's talk about everyone else's favorite cult classic, Fastlane.
Yeah, the pit stop on the road to WrestleMania, the quick shit break on the highway. It started off with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler fighting Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, and they had their dude with them, whatever
Reginald.
Reginald Short Pants Jackson or whatever his name is. And it was like 9 minutes 45 seconds. It didn't really capture much for me. I think the thing that stuck out for me the most was that in like the pre-interview, I was like, just like I think I said this to Shane. I was like, really? Like Bianca Belair could easily be Sunny Kiss with a weave.
Wow.
I'm just saying, Sunny Kiss got ass, yo.
Again, I think Bianca may actually be stronger than Sunny, though. Like, I think that's a thing.
I would agree with that.
She's pretty badass. I got to give credit where credit's due.
She's crazy.
Sunny Kiss is badass too. I got no beef. I'm just saying. She got no titties. I'd still smash. No, but that's the thing. And I can say whatever I want tonight, right? I can say whatever I want because Dozer's not here. I got the controls right. So if I want to go off and like just start ranting about my butthole, there's no. Okay, Dozer, I get it, bud. All right. I'm sorry. Man, we'll stay on track. Shane, what did you think about this one?
Yeah, this was a match, and I'm gonna be honest. This is a match I never invested in to begin with because it's such a waste of time to be using the women's tag team champions and the belts themselves on this match, where the two people trying to win them are WrestleMania opponents who are obviously facing each other and are not like previous best friends. You know what I mean? Like if this was face Sasha and face Bailey, you know what I mean? Prior to them having a face encounter at WrestleMania, this match might have made sense. But the fact they already did it once, the fact that they wasted the NXT Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Title tournaments on just regular NXT when they could have done it for either of these shows and given, you know, a team who is actually a team, you know, representation, you know, from what I remember, it was okay. It only went like 9 minutes. There wasn't enough time to get invested in anything.
Shy of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
For an opening match, it wasn't a terrible match, but it didn't grab me in any way.
There was no reason for them to even do this match. There really made no sense.
And the finish just left me.
We saw that Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, like we've seen it twice now. I didn't like it at Elimination Chamber to begin with, but
the finish left me scratching my head because like it was very obvious, like it was Reggie or Reginald who was the issue, and then they get into the beef to fucking build towards the match, and it just felt forced and kind of stupid, especially considering she was diving to try and stop the pinfall when it happened. So it's like, all right, you know, like, but yeah, whatever. It wasn't anything great. Next was what? Big E and Cruz.
Yeah, which went 5 minutes and 45 seconds. The last 10 of which are pure confusion.
Yeah. Oh God, the end of it is bad. But like I was so goddamn distracted by the fact that like because last time I really like paid attention to Cruz was like what Cruiserweight Classic, right?
He wasn't in Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh, huh?
Different type of cruise.
I mean, remember he did the NXT thing for like 8 months, and he was one of those super weird quick call ups that was just kind of mixed into the superstar shakeup. And
who oh yeah, I know I froze. I'll be back in a second. But who was it who was in the Cruiserweight Classic then? Who am I thinking of?
Cedric Alexander.
Yes,
maybe?
okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Because the whole cruise, like the fucking the Nigerian warlord thing is very weird.
To me, it's just the accent. Like I said, everything else I love about this new Apollo Crews, except for that damn accent.
Yeah, he reversed Kofi, dude.
The spear maybe not in the best of taste.
You know, but I'll tell you, this match got off to a really strong start. I loved the intensity that both men brought. I thought it was good representation, especially at the beginning for both of them. And I loved Big E starting with that quick hot, spear through the ropes.
Yep.
I fucking love that move, and I love that he started with it. I mean, it popped me instantly, and I was like, I want to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, the match itself wasn't bad, but like I said, it just.
Are you in like your bathroom with a light off now?
No, I wish. No, my camera, my son went on with my camera. I don't think.
Me and DDJ will keep it going here.
I'm still listening. I'm still here with you.
But no, it was really short, yeah. And the obvious thing was that ending was botched because they did not show a replay at all. There's no replay, so that like I still really don't know what happened. It
definitely felt very fucky. Like it did not make any sense. Like it didn't make any sense. Because Cruz immediately got up and did the attack, and it just was like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, and it was one of those things that you can tell when something's that fucked up in pro wrestling. Yeah, Isaac was shitting.
I would have done it on camera. If JC can do it, I can do it.
But when nobody is saying the same thing, right? Like, and nobody has any clue what's going on with any of the arms, like. When Cole is saying something different from Corey, who's saying something different from the referee, who's saying something different from both wrestlers, like, you know what I mean? Like, when everybody looks confused in a different way, something fucked up bad somewhere, and that was clearly one of those moments.
The only time they have those moments that it's not a botch is when it's something on the level of like Brock beating Taker.
Yeah,
when they don't want to give away an ending, right? But other than that, yeah, no, absolutely, that felt so botched, and it was just a shit show. The next match, I'll be honest, I didn't even watch. I skipped it without even knowing I skipped it. And that was Strowman and Elias at under 4 minutes.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, you missed nothing.
Cool.
It's such a waste of both of them.
Then we're not going to talk about it anymore. Fuck it, move on. Seth versus Shinsuke. This match for me was probably my favorite match of the night, other than the last one, just because I'm a huge Shinsuke mark, and it's nice to see him have a wrestling match again with somebody who can really wrestle and be allowed to go for almost 13 minutes.
Yeah, it was the right length. There wasn't stipulations, and I thought that helped the match. They weren't fighting over anything; they were just fighting. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Mm-hmm. I loved the stomp onto the steel steps.
Yep.
Kind of in the beginning. I like how he played off that. Yeah, and I was gushing over this match when it first happened. I didn't go back and rewatch it. I don't think it's as good as what I thought it was. But coming off of this shit show that was the first half, like I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I honestly, I liked it. I really did like it. Sean Thomas thinks that they're throwing him Nakamura a bone, and I mean, I think that he deserves it. He deserves the whole fucking steak, if you ask me. But yeah, no, it was for me. It really was. I don't think you're wrong in your assessment, your first watch assessment, because up until then, the only thing that had really captured my attention was the fact that they had fucking given Apollo Crews, someone they had billed from what fucking Arkansas or something, not Arkansas, fucking Georgia.
He and Jake the Snake shared the same hometown.
Yeah, exactly. He was billed from Georgia, and then like next time I see him, he's literally like carrying a spear with an African accent, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I couldn't get past that.
I think in the junkyard we referred to him as like a poor man's Black Panther or something like that, or a Wish.com Black Panther. I think Giovanni coined.
Yeah, no, I mean it is kind of like that. I mean, it is very much that feel of like, oh, okay, this is like T'Challa bootleg, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So up until that point, like nothing had really captured me, and just Shinsuke's entrance every time is engrossing, and Seth is such a good worker. Nakamura is a great worker, and they put on a great match. I have no complaints about it. It wasn't anything like groundbreaking, but like it was really good. No, it just needed to wash the taste out of the first half of the pay-per-view.
You didn't even watch fucking Elias versus Elias versus Braun, dude.
I didn't even realize I skipped it.
That was probably the worst bit of the first half too, man. Anyways,
yeah, no, I didn't even realize I skipped it, so but yeah, that was a great one. And then it went into the no holds barred, right, with Sheamus and Drew Mack.
Yes,
and that was pretty good. I mean, I didn't have any complaints about it. It wasn't my favorite match. It was a little long for me, honestly, for what it was. Like it was just shy of 20 minutes. I didn't think it needed to be that long. I wish they had given Seth and Shinsuke a little bit more time and taken some off of this. They could have, I think, accomplished just as much. But at the same time, like the match itself was good. I mean, they beat the fuck out of each other.
That was really hard hitting. I mean, anytime that you have, like when you see like a back like Sheamus had after that match, you were in a fight. Yes. Both these guys were sore, and they were probably really feeling it in the morning. But no, it was what I expected the match to be. And I mean, these two cannot have a bad match. Simply put,
Wade
thinks this was the best match up to this point.
And I would agree with him. I liked it better than Seth versus Nakamura. And again, it was at the right place, right? Like
yes,
Seth versus Nakamura, really brought in the good mood. I was in such a good mood after watching Seth versus Nakamura. I was just ready for this match, and it was brutal, just like both of you said. It was hard hitting. There was a lot of violence. The white noise off of the Thunderdome.
Yes, dude, that was the, like, for me, it was like the holy shit moment of the match.
Yeah,
and I think it was after that like, and I'm sorry, Shane, this is going to be our first big disagreement of the night, other than fuck you too, but is that fucking the piped in fucking or this is awesome chance pulls me out of it every time. It really does.
I think it's stupid, but I just think it's something that just you have to accept and then just move on. Like, because you can't change it. It doesn't matter what
anything.
I mean,
and I certainly don't have to move on, sir.
I mean, it happens. It's stupid, but like it doesn't hurt the match.
It's just, I don't know, like it's just one of those things that like yes, it was awesome, but there's no one there to chant that. And so just let it be awesome on its own. You get to see the people react. You get to react yourself. I just hate thinking about like being pulled into the fact that somewhere in the back, Kevin Dunn is going, yeah, dude, this is awesome. And
yeah,
pumping, it just bothers.
So you're mad at the match because of a piped in. Oh
No. The match was great. The match was fine. That was like the one thing that really took me out of it. Was all. Other than that, it was good. It was a good match. It wasn't like anything spectacular for me, but it was hard hitting, and how much I love that. I love snug shit like that. So
I mean, I've gotten with this piped in crowd noise and stuff. I'd rather have this than nothing, because those first few shows that we saw the WWE put on with nobody in the crowd, it definitely lacks something. Impact went through the same thing, and stuff and that. And so I would rather take what we've been getting than have nothing at all.
Well, I'll drink to that.
All right, I'll drink to that too.
By the way, so speaking of white noise, otherwise known as the air raid crash, I meant to mention this to you before we went on air. I just have to think about it real quick. Isaac, did you see who Tomato Cheddar is facing at NXT Stand and Deliver 2-night extravaganza before Mania? Did you see?
Is it Nat Turner Drink?
It is Nat Turner Drink that he is facing. Oh, and a meow. Aaron is going to be so excited.
She's going to be so excited because we're barely 20 minutes in, and this is the second Nat appearance. So this really will make Aaron very, very happy. So shout out to Aaron.
Another chirp. Wow.
But shout out to the nurse whose birthday is this weekend.
No. Oh, and another. Wow, Nat is really going off. But anyways, real quick, did you see who Tomato Cheddar's facing?
Sorry, it wasn't Nat, but who is it?
Walter.
Shut the fuck up. Wait a minute. Why did we talk about this fucking pay-per-view for the last 20 minutes? I feel like I could have sat here and fucking like fanboyed all about fucking this match for 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. Can we start over?
I mean, real quick, if we wanted, we could do our show on NXT Stand and Deliver rather than Mania, but we'll talk about that off air. Main event. Actually, no, sorry, the Randall match.
No, well, we have let's definitely review it, and we have a date. We have at least one date open that we can be flexible with. So if at the very least I want to review that match.
It's 2 nights. NXT.
At the very least, I want to review that match.
I mean, we can do that. So next up in Fastlane, we had Randall Keith Orton versus Alexa Bliss.
Oh, shit. I am so sorry, guys. I do need to stop for 1 second because we forgot something very important, and that is our rest in peace section. And rest in peace to Randall Orton. The original Randall Orton, Randall Barry Orton, Randy Orton's uncle, Barry O. He died earlier this week at 62 years old. So,
actually, I didn't see
that. Sorry. Anyway, back to the match. Match. I use heavy quotation marks.
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Why don't you? Because it was for me. It was just fucking stupid.
I thought that this was. I mean, this was what was going to happen, right? We all knew this is what was going to happen in one way or another. We either were going to see the Fiend, hear the Fiend's something or another. Vince is never going to do Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss in a real match. That is not something that Vince McMahon is going to book. It just won't happen.
So why did they book it?
Well, because it was a good way for the Fiend to come back and make Randy bleed licorice and come up from the ring.
Coming out of his mouth, it's black licorice.
Yeah. I thought that this was extremely fun, to be honest. I was, to be fair, I was under the influence of a lot of alcohol while watching. So it could have affected.
I should hope so.
But I had a ton of fun with this. I liked the Burnt Fiend coming out. I think it's something that they could continue doing, or just make it like a mind game, whatever. It did what it needed to do, and hopefully, for the love of God, the Fiend just kills Randy at Mania. That's what needs to happen. Randy needs to lose in 5 minutes. Period.
Ugh. This thing was a fucking giant pile of fucking donkey shit, dude. It was a waste. It was a waste of fucking however much time it was. The match itself was 4 minutes, 45 seconds, and fucking it was just a waste of time for me.
So I got to ask you this question though. Wouldn't you have wanted to have been in Randy Orton's position at the end of that match?
Listen. Okay. full disclosure, that was the only thing. Alexa Bliss is the only thing that was fucking saving that whole thing for me, because she could absolutely get this prickadille. Okay, fucking. I would love to fucking
Oh no.
Bootios. I would
Yeah,
eat
there you
fucking I would eat cereal out of her asshole. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, God.
Yeah, here we go. But yeah, for me it just missed the mark on every level. And I don't know, it just felt like it was retreading old shit. It felt like that they gave up on him being the new Undertaker and now he's the new Kane. I don't know. That's just what it felt like. Oh, he's got
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I mean,
it wasn't pro wrestling.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this is kind of one of those really weird things where you would think like this would be something that I feel like I should be hating, this whole thing with the Fiend and stuff, but I love it. It's something different.
Yeah, DDJ, it's almost like you understand that accepting the Fiend is just like accepting the Undertaker, because they're both fucking stupid, make no goddamn sense. Undertaker's a fucking zombie, like necromage that's also a biker.
But they also booked him right. They also booked him well. Like, you can't say that like they've like the characters are sort of similar, but they never booked them anywhere similar. So
yeah, but
anyway, we're spending too much time on this one because this was a pile of shit.
The next show, the next show, Isaac, I'm gonna hit you with a fact real quick that I was looking up. The next show was 2 hours long. People, anybody who doesn't know, in your house, it's a 2-hour pay-per-view.
No, it's an hour and 43 minutes.
Is an hour and 43 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. So they spent literally 42 minutes of the next show in vignettes and things in an hour and 43 minutes.
And you know what?
So
though?
we have plenty of time.
They were great vignettes. They were great vignettes, though. But I want to talk about the next match because I think that's the match of the night.
Yes.
And it's not even close. And not only is it the match of the night, but it's one of the better matches that WWE's put on in quite a while. As far as at least with a men's match, in the main roster.
Straight one-on-one contest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally think that's a fair assessment. It was 30 minutes even, and
who was wrestling in it, Isaac?
It was Daniel, the fucking dragon, bro, and Roman Reigns, and it was fucking awesome. It was awesome. It saved the pay-per-view for me because up until this point, like the Alexa Bliss just pissed me off. It just pissed me off. And then this came on, and I was like, oh, this is pro wrestling. I was like, we're getting some more pro wrestling on this pro wrestling pay-per-view, and it felt good. It felt good because that's what I like. That's what I enjoy.
In this match, I think is one of those matches that is just going to bridge the gap between angry old fucks and then young flippy lovers. No, you know what I mean? Does. Because there was plenty of really fun, hard-hitting action. There was a lot of fun chain wrestling. Mm-hmm. Everything was snug. Everything was tight. Nobody looked like they were in danger. And
it was good in-ring storytelling.
Yeah. I mean, Daniel's the ultimate underdog. Like, and he's filled that role for WWE. Like, even when he was a heel, he felt like the underdog. You know what I mean?
Oh,
because he always had to have Roman. Like, he does that so well, where he has to fight from under everybody.
Yes, he fights from behind all the time.
Yeah, and there's nobody in the WWE right now, I think, on any roster, and that including NXT, that you have less of a chance of beating than Roman in real life. As far as if we're taking this as real life, and as far as what we know that it's being
there's only one that could beat up Roman that I can think of easily off the top of my head. And that would be Brock.
Yep.
I don't even think that they would. Given how they booked him up till now, I think if they brought Brock back to face him, I think that Brock would lose again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking in just a shoot fight.
No. I was saying if we're taking the wrestling as real life,
I was gonna be like, dude, Brock Lesnar would beat the fuck out of Roman Reigns in a shoot.
Absolutely.
Even at like 40 fucking something years
old. Dude, there's only one guy on the roster that would even have a chance, and he's too small, as Matt Riddle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Matt Riddle's just take him. Well, he's too small. But I loved at the beginning of the match itself where Daniel's just fucking with Roman and just kicking him in the back of the leg and running up. Hey, you want to wrestle me? All right, I'm gonna run. Like and then he gets into just kind of grinding him, not even beating the piss out of him. Yeah.
No, it was good. It was really entertaining, and then Edge getting involved. I mean, I know, like we were talking earlier.
You knew it had to happen.
Yeah, like he's getting involved, so you can have the triple threat, and that's great because like he needs that. He needs that extra. But yeah, no, it was a solid match. They told a good story, and it was probably like overall the match of the night because
I think nobody would disagree with you.
Yeah, I mean the only one that came close for me was Nakamura and Seth because that was like the second best wrestling match of the night. But yeah, it wasn't a bad pay-per-view, but I would never go back and watch it again.
Yeah, when we discussed it on the Junkyard, when we did our reaction show after the show aired, I think out of 10, I think I gave it a 7.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean
it wasn't bad, but
it wasn't. One thing I want to call attention to during that match though was I kind of had wondered what Edge had to channel in that match when like he literally his face turned red, like beet red. I mean, just
I don't know. Maybe he's just fucking gassed from running up.
I don't know. Jumping in the ring. His face got red. I think right when he started cracking everyone with the chair.
Man, I've taken a few dabs like that, man. But yeah, it was all right. Shane, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say. I mean, DDJ. It's probably the fact that he hasn't been able to smack anybody with a chair for a while. You know what I mean?
He's like excited.
He's excited. He's really like getting himself into that mood. You know what I mean?
He misses the concerto, bro.
That's what I was just gonna bring up. Now, just what it's gonna be like when he hits that first concerto on somebody.
Man. God, that was such a good finish instead of the stupid fucking spear. But yeah, and so I mean. I think at this point we got to move into the other pay-per-view that we were going to actually review, get a little bit more in depth, but not really because it's going to be about the same amount of time. But we'll give it a fucking star rating. That's going to be a big difference.
El speciality. It's when you go to McDonald's and you get an egg on the burger rather than no egg.
Oh. Well, here's my move is now with those new crispy chicken sandwiches, I get the tartar sauce from the fillet of fish on there. And it's real fucking good. So it's like extra pickles and mayo on it, and it's just fantastic. But yeah, so we're basically keeping in with like a timeline. So we watched the pay-per-view that's leading up to the current day WrestleMania, and now we're gonna go back and review the pay-per-view that led up to the 1997 WrestleMania 13. And just a big announcement for our next paper rear view. Hey, you see, I remembered 30 minutes later. That's not bad, dude. Yeah, two blunts, 30 minutes, and a twisted tea later, and I still got it.
That's extremely good, man. You're rocking the twisted.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the peach, and then I'm gonna blast into the Bud Light Platinum.
Twisted tea's
8%. Yeah, Wade doesn't like it, but he's wrong about that. But yeah, so yeah, the pay-per-view rear view where we're getting into is the Final Four. Which was the continuation of the Royal Rumble, basically with the screwy finish with Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Royal Rumble. They decided to have the main event be a weird, over-the-top elimination, also pinfall and submission match with the final four contestants, and that was what the pay-per-view was based around. It was an hour and 43 minutes. And it started with Marvelous Mark Marrow, or it was Madman or something, Wild Man. Mark Marrow versus Leif Cassidy, so young Al Snow.
Yeah.
And that was 9.5 minutes.
Boy, did this match stink less than some stuff on this card.
It wasn't bad. I think the thing that stuck with me the most, and this is like, I didn't take a lot of notes for this because I think like it wasn't it was a pay-per-view I've seen enough where I don't need to take too many notes on it. But the two notes I have is first was how to make Sable even less charismatic. Put sunglasses on her. And then the other one was, I don't know, like we were talking about Jerry Lawler. Jesus Christ, has not aged well at all.
I mean, he's
insufferable.
I thought, right, that like Jerry Lawler and JR were like one of like my top favorite tandem like commentary teams. And the more, especially for this show, right, where like I'm sitting and I'm watching, and Dad Wade, it's an elite class. It's the good stuff. It's big.
Hall
and
of,
it's strong.
Hall of Fame worthy.
Hall of Fame with the nipples. But anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Sorry, I got mad at Wade for not liking Twisted Tea.
You got mad. We were talking about Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh yeah,
and how bad they were.
Yeah, I thought that.
Dude, I'm on fire tonight, bro. I remembered that too, dude. Sorry,
dude, you're really into it, man. You're taking this by the reins.
You're stepping up.
Jerry Lawler is insufferable through this entire show.
Horrible.
And the entire show, and he's not funny. He's annoying.
No, he's awful.
He's not even talking about the wrestling at all most of the time. At all.
Awful. No. And here's the thing: is like, so for the first thing about this, and I'm just to piggyback off of what you're saying about the duo there between JR and Lawler, is that JR is so fucking good at his job. He is so good at his job.
Save King over and over again.
That he carried King for as long as he did, and he made that booth one of the best there ever was. And here's the thing: is when Jerry got fired or quit or whatever over the Miss Kitty bullshit, that was some of the best, and it was because of JR, and people still just think it was both of them, and they fucking glaze over. But this is a quote. This is a direct quote. Sorry. And this exemplifies just how poorly he has aged as an announcer. And he has a moment where fucking Leaf Cassidy was, like almost hit Sable, and fucking Jerry Lawler says, "Never hit a woman with glasses. I use my fist." And you're just like, wait, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly the problem, is that like all his shit is tasteless. And I would honestly dare to say that he is a much more offensive announcer than Jim Cornette has ever been as a fucking play-by-play commentary. If you go back and you listen to what Jerry
that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're offending different groups of people mostly here, but
I don't know. I think that if you actually go back and you listen to a lot of the stuff he was saying about the Nation of Domination and shit, like,
yeah,
pretty racist.
I tuned Lawler out as much as I could for the entire show.
And that's
here's the issue with Lawler is they tried to make him JR's Bobby Heenan, but here's the thing: is that Lawler's not actually funny and he's creepy. Bobby Heenan is just incredibly funny and he's smart, right? And he knows how to get easy, quick but you can still snicker at, where Jerry the King Lawler is just, it's boobs. It's boobs. What's he doing? He's a little baby man. It's boobs. Boo this guy.
And here's the thing: is the demographic at that time was 13-year-olds.
Oh yeah,
and fucking puppies and shit. I love that shit. But yeah, it does not fucking age well. And he is, as Sean Thomas says, the creepy uncle.
Yes.
He is. He's very weird, and it's not appealing. But the match itself wasn't bad. It was like a two-star fucking shindig. But it was a good opening match for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's not any. It wasn't like, it was a good opener, but I mean, it wasn't memorable.
No.
What rating do you, DJ? Give it a
out
of 5.
Out of 5 stars, I'd probably go with Isaac on this. I'd give it 2.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't offensive.
This was a 1.75 star match.
1.75.
And the only reason why it's that high is because of that crazy dive that Mark Mero does like at the end of the segment. Dude, he just scud missiles through like the bottom rope.
Incredible.
I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, yeah, that was awesome. That was a great fucking moment for sure.
What the hell was that? Like
yeah. And that led into the next thing though. Oh, did you you did 175, sorry.
Yeah.
And that led right into the next, which was Jesus Christ. This was the worst thing of the whole fucking night by far. And that was the Nation of Domination crush. For some reason, I still have no idea why they thought they would put fucking DOA and the Nation. But Crush, Farouk, and Savio Vega versus Bart Gunn, Flash Funk, and Goldust.
Yeah, I was explaining the card to Wade, and I was like, "Oh, Nation of Domination versus 3 jobbers, including Bart Gunn." And then he was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, but it was the Nation of Domination still with the white people in it."
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Like, and who else? And it was because not just those guys, because they had fucking
they had like
JC Ice and Wolfie D and D'Lo Brown and
they had the really
Mason.
dorky dude. Yeah, Clarence Mason. They had the guy that rapped, right? Didn't they still have
that
the guy
that was JC Ice and Wolfie D.
Yeah, and boy, did this stink.
Oh, it was horrible.
This just stunk.
It was just a fucking mess.
It stunk so bad.
Mess. And the only thing that really the only thing for me that saved it in any sort of way, well, at least for me was didn't fucking wait. Now was this this was when China made her appearance, right?
No, that was
her debut.
That was later on. That wasn't this match. That was later on. That was
that was after. because Goldust runs in for that.
Yeah.
One. So yeah, there was nothing good about this then. Never mind. There was
this was a 0.25 because it was a match. I'm just getting my rating and my
0.25. Get it out of the way.
It was just kind of one of those matches. It just struck me as like, okay, let's just throw. It's like they just put their hand in a bucket and they drew out. Yes. We're gonna have Flash Funk. We're gonna have Goldust.
Oh my God! Yes, that's exactly it. Is like, who do we have a couple storylines that we need to fucking pad out. Bart Gunn, Flash Funk, Goldust. The fuck kind of bullshit team is that?
My star rating. This was garbage and stuff. I'm gonna give it a dud.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much a 0.25. Yeah. We'll catalog that.
0.25, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's just 0.25 is a match. I mean, that's just
yeah.
It had a start, it had a finish.
It's better. Nothing. You know what? It was still better than the Punjabi prison match.
No, it wasn't. Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I gotta side with Shane on that one. This was
dude, at least the Punjabi prison's funny.
At least you couldn't see. At least you couldn't see that match.
Yeah, I mean.
But then I think this led into one of the 2 best matches of the night.
Yeah,
which was
hold on.
Which was Rocky Maivia and Triple H.
Is that actually what it led into though?
Yeah, I think that was the next match. It was that
pretty
one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dozer is normally the one who does all of this.
No, I actually wrote this all down, dude.
You said you thought. My bad. I
sorry. When I say I think, it's because I'm trying not to sound like some fucking nerd, right? Brainiac person who knows everything about shit and stuff.
Oh.
Are you like referring to a specific someone who's currently on this show right now? Is that
listen, dude? You're far from a nerd. You're a goddamn Rain Man, all right? You're the fucking pro wrestling Rain Man. We're gonna get that on a shirt, all right? But yeah, so this is Rocky Maivia and Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yep.
12.5 minutes, and yeah, like it's so funny to see these guys at this age, so lean. Like Triple H being that lean, Rocky being that lean, and working the paces match they were doing.
The Rock with the hair, dude. Hair going crazy.
Yep.
The tights.
Yeah, no, it was, but I mean, for me, it was like a good pro wrestling match. Like those guys would went for it. Like I don't know, I had a good time, and this is where after like Goldust runs in and interferes somehow, and then
he distracts Triple H. That basically sets up the Rocky getting the win.
Yep,
and
the roll up, right?
It was that or
oldest move in the book. He grabbed him here, rolled him right up. JR.
The one thing that I just when I was watching this match earlier this evening, it's just it really blew my mind to see how far both The Rock and Triple H have come from that night. I mean, and you think about how intertwined their careers were basically from that point on. You know, basically they rose up in the company at literally the exact same time, and it's kind of weird going back and watching. Essentially, you know, where it all started. I believe this was at the time. I think this is their second match because they had that one, you know, the couple days earlier when The Rock won the title from Triple H.
Yeah.
Would you say that they are the two most successful pro wrestlers ever?
The Rock and Triple H?
Yeah, as far as like what they've been able to accomplish via their wrestling career. Whereas Triple H is set to basically inherit a fucking billion-dollar company, and The Rock is one of like the most sought after entertainment stars on the planet when it comes to film.
I don't know if I would classify, I would say that those two are the most like successful in that because you'd also have to throw in Austin. I think you'd have to put Taker in there. You'd even have to really, I think.
I'm talking about successful outside, like transcending the business, right? Like all those guys had a lot of success in the business, but Triple H is literally set to be a billionaire once he takes over, basically.
Okay, so if you go that route, I would say you could definitely put him in there, but I'd still say you'd have to throw, like, if we're just talking about this area, you would have to throw Austin in there as well, too, because, I mean, while he hasn't gone on to do, you know, like the movies, you know, like The Rock, or, you know, he's not inheriting, you know, $1 billion company like, you know, Triple H. I mean, Austin's done quite well for himself. You know, I mean, he's
successful.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing that, but Hulk Hogan got canceled, so
it doesn't fucking matter to Hulk Hogan. He's a host of WrestleMania, brother. Just
the thought that popped into my head, thinking about thinking about it, like where those guys are today. Like if you ask somebody who The Rock is, everybody knows who The Rock is.
Yeah,
like not everyone knows who Triple H is, but like he also is about to inherit one of like the biggest pro wrestling company ever, and one of the biggest companies.
Here's the thing: is before I give my opinion on the match itself, The Rock is the most recognizable professional wrestler in the history of the world. There will never be a professional wrestler other than maybe Cena.
Yeah, we'll see what happens after the Fast Furious thing and
yeah. I mean, but like you said, everyone knows who the fucking Rock is. Everyone does. Yeah. Hulk Hogan was in the Three Ninjas. Absolutely, my favorite movies of my childhood.
In outer space as well too,
and in Gremlins too.
Yes, I love this game.
But yeah, so did you like the match, Shane?
It was okay. It felt like a Raw match that didn't have the commercial built in. Like you just got to see an entire Raw match, and it was good. It was fine. Like it was these two dudes, especially as young as they were, and you know, they weren't built into, you know, Rocky Maivia wasn't The Rock. Triple H wasn't Triple H. They weren't doing their normal move sets, so it was fun to see them, you know, wrestle different styles. You know, both of them. But there was nothing inspiring about this match to me other than China debuting and I guess killing Marlena.
I thought that was. I remember that happening, and I think this is like one of the things that separates this era from what we're in now is that there's like you don't have the same level of like internet interaction that you do today, so you don't know like how, like back then you didn't know who the fuck that was and what happened and whether it was real, and like there was no way to find out. Like there was nowhere to go to be like, who is this?
Yes, you just had to tune in the next week. Yeah,
exactly. And there was something about that like really like added something very special to like that moment, even though it didn't I don't know. China was great in the beginning.
I'm just saying, man. Goldust all face painted up, looking like a complete weirdo in a sweatsuit. Just going. I want her arrested. I thought it was so fucking funny. I
incredible.
Legitimately almost pissed myself laughing.
He was
in my room by myself, and I don't know why. I just thought it was so funny. This was a 2.25 star match because I feel I would disrespect it, giving it just
I
a
think
2.
I think it was 2.5 for me. Like I said, like nothing on this pay-per-view was like spectacular, but nothing was offensive. Nothing was bad.
And again, I mean, you think about
already forgot about that.
The Rocky Maivia had only made his debut like 3 months prior, so he's still, a rookie still. And then, Hunter at the time, I think he'd been with the company for almost 2 years, and I mean, he's had a few more years and experience. Yeah, I mean, it's just again, I go back thinking how different it was watching this match, and just thinking about everything that they've done, since then. And I mean, just again, how their careers were so intertwined with each other, basically at this point in time, basically all the way up to like, I want to say like, 2000, 2001.
And both of them have just had all the success in the world with whatever they've tried to do for the most part.
And then as for this match, I'd give it 2.5 as well too. Again, I mean, it wasn't anything special, but it was, like I think Shane summed it up really nicely. It was basically a Raw match with no commercial. I really like that comparison.
Yeah, I agree. So that leads into the next match. Second to last, which was Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn versus Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. And I thought this match was a great tag team match. I actually really enjoyed it. There was a lot of really good technical wrestling. Owen Hart is incredible. Bulldog is incredible. And honestly, Doug Furnas and Phil LaFawn were good workers.
They were very good workers.
And there was some really there was a standing Rana that was fucking awesome. And I was watching with the nurse, and I remember a couple points she was like, "Holy shit, did you see that?" And even she started marking. And so I was like, if somebody doesn't really like pro wrestling, has moments where they start marking, for me, that's a sign that they're doing something right.
Yeah.
The finish was a little fucky, but at the same time, I know what it's building to. And this is one of the things that it's kind of a recurring thing for me is I know what all these little storylines are starting to build to, and I love what's coming up, and it gets me really excited. So
yeah,
I loved this match. This was for me the best match of the night, and it was a 3-star match.
Yeah, I really like this match too, and it was kind of one of those things that when I was watching it, a couple hours ago and stuff, I was just like, wow, this was really good. I'd forgotten how good Furnas and LaFawn were as a team. The only problem they had in the WWF, they didn't have any charisma. They were just wrestlers. Yes. That was the thing. If they had any kind of character, any kind of charisma, they would have had a much longer and much more successful run in the company. And and that being said, I loved, what, like you said, the whole match, the ending played into the tension that Owen and the Bulldog were going through at the time.
He broke his slammy.
Yeah, and that is just, I think Owen would wind up doing okay for himself. I think he'd win. I think he got a second one about a month or so later. But no, I would say, yeah, easily this was the match of the night and stuff. I'd give this 3.5 stars.
All right.
Yeah. So this match, I didn't particularly love it. This match was a Raw squash match that got extended to 11 minutes because they didn't know what the hell else to do with the show. It was fine.
It wasn't a squash match.
No, but this if this match would have taken place on Raw, this would have been a squash match.
I mean, Owen and Bulldog lost via DQ even.
Yeah, but
and it was a tag title match. I just don't think it felt like a squash match. I actually felt like an actual fair competition between guys who could wrestle.
Here's the bottom line: is everyone knows Owen Hart, everyone knows British Bulldog. Who the fuck is Doug Furnas and the other guy? I know who Doug Furnas is.
But their work was good. Their fucking work was good. I don't care if you don't know them. Their work was really good in that.
There was no point in that match that I had any thought in my mind that the two other dudes would beat British Bulldog and beat Owen Hart. You knew who was going to win coming out of it, or at least hold on to the belt. Sorry.
But then they did win. Ooh, and your expectations were subverted.
Yes, I suppose in that way, but it was just work for work's sake, and that's something that you don't really like.
No, I do. I don't mind. Like, if it's good work, I like a good wrestling match. What I don't like is fucking Randy Orton coming out and fucking pissing black shit out of his mouth for no reason and having lights fall on him for no reason, and then get pinned because. Yeah. Anyway, I thought the work rate was really good in the match. What's yours? Did you give it a star rating? What was your star rating?
No. I was going to say that because of in-ring work, it was like a 1.5 star match.
Whoa. That is a hot, nasty shit of a take, but I'm gonna drink because we're disagreeing pretty hard on that.
Again, and the finish was fucked. The finish made no sense. There were so many portions of the match I either didn't like or didn't understand that I couldn't get past. That it was just like a fine, a fine to good wrestling match, and that's it. That's all it was, because the finish was fucked. It's like, oh, I hit him with a power slam. Oh, but I hit him with a slammy. It's a DQ. Okay, we could have just beat him with that,
Yeah, but that was the thing, is they were building that dissension between the two of them.
And I'm watching it as a microcosm of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, oh, totally. And that, I think, is where, like, some of this, and it's the same issue that I have with watching Fastlane and other things, is I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But this actually reminded me of one thing that we didn't talk about on the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, was that that Royal Rumble was the Royal Rumble where British Bulldog came in. I'm the British Bulldog and I'm bizarre.
Was that one? Oh, really?
It was that one, and fucking the fucking best. One of the best things ever. But yeah, and then on to the main event, which, as I alluded to before, was the supposed way that they were gonna resolve the fucked up finish, because they don't do during the Stone Cold interview. He's like, we don't got the fucking instant replay in WWE, and he gave a great promo. But the match itself was, it was the problem. One of the bigger problems is they didn't spend any time actually explaining what the rules were,
except at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, and it was like very brief, and it didn't and so it felt like it was like, oh, this is like the end of the Royal Rumble, and then they started going for pinfalls, and you're like, wait a minute. And that was confusing. But Vader got some fucking nasty color.
That was bad, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the hard way is always going to give you nasty color, man.
It looked brutal.
I mean, he got straight kicked in the face by the chair. I mean, that wasn't anything else.
But it was, for me, it was a really entertaining match between some of the best guys in the business. It wasn't the most coherent, but my biggest thing with this is that it was really about the story between was two stories they were trying to tell. One of them they told better than the other, I think, but the real stories were what was going on between Bret Hart and Stone Cold, and what was going on between Vader and Taker, trying to build those two storylines towards Mania.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little disjointed in the way they did it. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, is like, this is one of the things I kind of like about that era, is that it wasn't as well produced and overproduced and overplanned. And they let the guys go out and do it. And sometimes it was for the best, sometimes it was for the worst. But I didn't think it was a bad match. It was maybe like a 2.5 star match for me. Basically because I know this is leading to one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time.
Go ahead, DJ.
All right, now, when you say greatest WrestleMania matches of all time, are we talking about Vader and Mankind versus the British Bulldog and Owen Hart?
No.
We're talking about Rocky Maivia versus the Sultan?
Are we talking about the Miz versus Cena for the title?
I think DDJ's pulling out 1997 WrestleMania matches. He's pulling them out of the bag, dude.
But here's the thing, and because he was there, and if you didn't watch What Do You Say with DDJ last week, you really do need to go watch that, because there is an exclusive on there, and I'm going to share it now. DDJ will be our special guest. Will be our special guest for the episode where we review WrestleMania 13, because DDJ was in attendance at the show, and Dozer was drunk and invited him on, and now we can't take it back.
There's no take back.
Oh, then since you put it that way, but going into this match, I mean, I think originally the premise of this match was to see who was going to go on to face Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. I think that's what the original premise of this match was. Then, Shawn lost his smile, so he had to declare taken and stuff, and then the winner of this match would go on to face Sid the next night, because Sid, was supposed to have the title match against Shawn at that Thursday before, right before the show and stuff, but.
So really, Shawn fucked everything up when he decided he didn't want to lose to Sid.
Yeah, and it's just this man. To me, it was, I guess the best word for me to describe would be a bit of a clusterfuck, because it seemed like it was so much going on. I'd say, because I know we're running short on time here, just giving it a rating, I'd probably say get like 2.25 stars.
Yeah. This was my match of the night, and I'm gonna bitch about it for a minute here.
You bitch.
This was 2.5 stars from me. I like all of the men involved. I thought the like mini matches within the match were fine. I disliked how Vader kept going under the bottom rope, but they didn't like inform you that he wasn't eliminated. So I forgot that it was over the top rope, and then they're like, "Oh, he's gonna get eliminated." And I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't like how disjointed it felt. Just like you guys said, it just felt like they were playing Ring Around the Rosie with Vader. Whoever he would drag out next, they'd get beaten up for 2 minutes, and he'd come back in and he'd grab somebody else, go beat him up for 2 minutes. There was none of the newfangled, this is the year 2021 intermixed storytelling or like big group spots that you would see from a normal triple threat fatal 4-way multi-man match, which really took away from the match for me. That being said, all competitors involved tried hard. I loved that Austin was so incensed with Bret Hart that he was just going to kill him, and they just kept letting him come back because he was too badass for anyone to stop him. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was like a 2.5 star match. The color was nice. Yeah,
damn, that's what I said.
I would say, I did enjoy relatively early in the match. I'd say 5-6 minutes in, Vader and Taker in the ring together, and he fucking yokes Taker for like a deadlift, like belly to belly, and it's nasty. You've never seen the Undertaker get ragdolled. You'll see it here. I mean, he looked like a little fucking kid. Looked like Marco Stunt, dude.
He's a beast. He's such a beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that. I think it was overall like the pay-per-view wasn't great, but it like did get me very excited for the next pay-per-view. So yeah, super stoked on that. Right before we close, I just want to say, go to prowrestlingtees.com/pro wrestling junkies. Not only can you get the What Do You Say with DDJ shirt on there, not only can you get the fucking pinnacle of pro wrestling t-shirts, the fucking Such Good Shoot podcast shirt. Not only can you get some fucking Pro Wrestling Junkies tees, but they got some new shit on there, including the fucking Steve's 3, which all the money for those shirts go to charity. So definitely get one of those. You got Toilet Side with Brad Marcus, and you got the new Junkyard shirt. Yeah. So we finally got that. Awesome. Spencer finally got his shit together and fucking got the shirt done. So.
Real quick, we spent a lot of time burying Spencer on the episode I had you guys on. But I don't want this to be, anytime we get together, that's all we do is bury Spencer. But It was Giovanni was the one who handled the design for the jump.
Oh, okay.
Did it bury Giovanni, dude?
So number 13's off the hook on this one. I love you, Spencer, brother, man. I fucking really do. So to close out, check us out on the Twitter at Shoot Such. We got the Such Good Shoot on there. We started doing that because like we're wicked fucking media savvy. So we're also on Instagram. Go on. Yeah. Such Good Shoot on Instagram. We got pictures of Just Incredible taking a shit on our podcast. We got we're gonna post all sorts of good stuff up there, maybe some exclusives, all sorts of good stuff. So check that out. Buy the shirts. I think those are something about ringing bells and liking and subscribing. Shane, you got something to say before we sign off?
Yeah, tune in next week, April the 1st, for NXT TakeOver 2 Fatal 4-Way, where we review another pay-per-view with 4 people in the main event that's going to be way fucking better than this one.
Takeover Time Machine, yes, or Takeover Time Machine.
Yep.
And I think we might, and I think I'm going to tease, I think we might have a very, very special announcement that week. So we will see going into that. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us. Dozer, I hope your 9/11 Truther convention has gone well. And, I hope you really get to the bottom of that thing. So DDJ, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Please go and check out DDJ's podcasts. What do you say with DDJ and the Junkyard? Wherever you get your podcasts. And thank you so much for joining us. I've been Isaac. That's been Shane. That's been DDJ. And we have been Such Good Shoot, hosted by Pro Wrestling Junkies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye-bye.